I just really could use some advice without judgment. And
Hi, Crystal. I saw your video, and for those who want to know what it is, go back. But she has a 4-year-old daughter who is recently diagnosed as autistic. The daughter is non-speaking and has had some behaviors in her preschool. Her daughter is 4, and the teacher videotaped the daughter. So we've got a couple things going on. This is a new parent, a parent, not a new parent, but a parent who is new to autism and new to the school system and needs to understand exactly what's going on in terms of the privacy rights of her child. You did not say what state you're in and whether or not the child is in a public preschool. So a lot of schools will have programs for kids that have disabilities, and that does matter. But I'll try to give you some information that will help you regardless of whether I know this information. So FERPA is the Family Educational Rights Protection Act, and it covers things like this. And whether or not you have access to, your child's teacher videotaping your child, how that is handled. And so typically there really is not a lot of specifics in FERPA that talks about recordings, meaning whether or not they can do it, which means that your school should have something and probably had it at the beginning of the year. Maybe you signed it and didn't know about it. They usually have something called an opt-out. So it is a document that you can sign to opt out of having your child's picture or video taken in school. And if you don't sign it, then you're kind of by default giving them permission. So the first thing I would do was ask about that. I would keep that the teacher did that in writing first. And then I would want to have a conversation around why this videotape happened, what was it used for, and discuss with everyone whether or not this is something you want them to have permission to do. I am not a fan of having that done. There are some parents that don't mind that at all, but I'm not a fan of it because your daughter does have a right to their privacy. Now, of all the 50 states, several states are one-party recording states, which means only one person needs to give permission, which would be the teacher. Other states are two-party recording states. Your child is a minor, and so again, it comes down to how the state handles that. But I don't want you to get upset. I understand this is upsetting, so I take that back. I would be upset too, but I'm here to help. Feel free to ask me any questions. But number one, I hope that your daughter does have an IEP. I hope that they are working with her on behaviors. When a child does not have words to tell people what's going on, then they do have behaviors. They are going to get frustrated. They are going to act out, and that is the way that they communicate. And so a good IEP program is going to help the school understand how to help that child communicate if they get to the point of being verbal, identify whether or not they need an alternative method of communication, like an AAC device, any of those things. So I'm hoping that they're working on that. If they are not, reach out and I'm happy to help.